Meet Ariel, just a mom, madly in love with sewing, dreaming of upcycle fashion, until the kids show up with zero chill. But you know what? She's rolling with it. Because who needs peace and quiet when you've got style and passion? Let's stitch some thrift flips today.
Summertime is literally right around the corner, and I've been dying to give these thrifted pieces a new life. So let's get into some sewing and upcycling. These are some Tommy Hilfiger jeans. If you saw my sewing plans video, you know what these are and my idea for these, but I have two of them. Let me go put one on so we could see the fit, and we'll talk about the inspo. I am so obsessed with this color combo, a black tank with light wash jeans. Literally my favorite look. They're boot cut jeans, and I thought they were men's, but the way that they're fitting, they feel like women's, and they do fit me kind of well. In this video, we're going to take in the waist, and then with these jeans, I wanted to cut out the sides and do bow ties and have it open. With the other pair, we are going to make these into a square neck corset tank. I'm dying to work on this, so let's get into project number one now. Well, maybe first I'll talk about all the inspo, but this is going to be the first project we're gonna work on. So sticking with the denim, this is a cute denim shirt. It's not a jacket, it's lightweight. And I wore this in my last video. If you haven't seen my Joann's haul already, check it out. But I wore it and I like the fit, but I really want to turn this into a vest. I'm obsessed with these vests that I've been seeing online, and I still haven't made one from scratch. And I'm just like, let me turn this into a vest. This would be so cute with these buttons, and like the quality of it, it would make a great vest. So that's project number two. And these are project number three. It sucks because these are not a natural fiber material. These are polyester, but I love the prints on these, and this one too. So pretty, and I want to turn these into halter tops. I know you may think that they're cute as is, but I wouldn't really wear them. Let me put them on for you. This is top number one. I just want to turn this into a peplum halter top style. Wouldn't really pick this up and wear this. I would pick up more of this style top that I want to make. So that's why I want to change it. If you think I should have left it as is, let me know. And I'm sorry for ruining this shirt, but I think I would give it a really cute new life.
I was stuttering a lot in this clip. I was basically explaining that I loved the dress as it is. I've never tried this on until in this clip, and I originally wanted to turn this into a halter top, but I think I'm going to leave this as a dress but turn it into, you know, something else. So we're gonna work on that later. It's actually not in this video. Doing this on yourself may be a little bit difficult, but you got this, and I'm gonna show you here. I use tailor's chalk to mark where I'm taking in the jeans. While the jeans are on you, pinch the center back seam as close to your waist as possible and mark the new seam line. Because I was taking in these jeans down 2 sizes, it was easier for me to use that method on both sides, and I created 2 darts instead. I sewed 1 dart off camera so I could see how it looks. So on this one here, we're going to add a 1/2 inch on each side, and that will create our seam allowance. Cut off the excess fabric so you can sew the dart, and you may have to seam rip a little bit of the waistband to give you a seamless sew. On some thicker parts of your denim, you may have to walk the needle over instead of sewing straight through so you don't break your needle. I do have a basic Singer machine, so sometimes I did have to walk my needle instead of sewing right over it. Now that the dart is sewn, you're going to match up the waistband and stitch that together, and we are going to work on the rest of this in a bit.
we are ready to do the top. I remembered this pattern, the Valentina pattern on Mood Fabrics. I already did this in my Valentine's Day dress, so I have those pieces here, and it would be the perfect look for what I want, except I just have to kind of alter this part and make it more square since it's kind of round, because I do want a square neckline.
Straight to a penthouse, Miami Beach. Talk crazy on tweets. They don't want it cause I come to defeat. They don't want it. I peep, these niggas all sweet. Bamboo sticks all in the Jeep. It's a new weirdo every week. Get the whip.
So I don't know where I left off, but I have my denim corset cut out, and we have great progress with the pants. They fit me well. I just need to sew down the pockets and sew down the waist. Now that we have our denim, our tan denim thread. So yeah, we'll get started on that, and I just have to cut the strips for the bow ties and get the corset together. I just re-recorded the TikTok that I'm trying to do. Y'all, doing TikToks is so hard, especially when you're trying to lip sync to a certain sound or a song. So yeah, I just had to re-record that, and I think I like it way much better. So now let's get into the assembly of this. It is about to storm. The clouds are dark, or well, the sky is dark, and I'm fighting with the natural lighting because I don't have studio lights right now. So yeah, I have like these lights, but like this light is yellow and this light is the only one I have, but it's not as bright. So we're fighting for the light. This is the lining. I just sewed it all together and then cut the shape that I wanted after it was already sewn together. So I would have to do this to the denim pattern pieces as well. Apparently I'm Miss Thick now because I had to completely cut a new back for the corset, and I was not liking this part. I'm just not liking it. And then the straps are not reaching. You know, this denim has no stretch, so that's the issue. When I first made this pattern, this fabric was very stretchy, so the back strap and front straps are not meeting. So I would probably have to cut 2 inches of fabric just to fit. But what do we think about, I just pinned everything down, like the straps and everything. What do we think about this? And I still may do some straps like these, just some skinny straps. But yeah, I just pinned everything down like this so I could see what it looks like. And I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, sorry for that detour, but now back to the pants. This is pretty much simple. We're just going to add the waistband back to the top of the pant. I finished my dart with a zigzag zipper. You can close this any other way you want, and we're just sewing this right back on. So for the bow ties for the jeans, I thought I could create a bunch of bias tape strips and use that for the bow ties, but they were way too thick. So I just cut a bunch of flat pieces of denim and sewed those to the side of the seam and tied those together, and I love that much better. It gave it a more distressed look and it looks so good. They know I'm the bomb, they flicking me For the peplum top, I'm going to be using this Simplicity pattern option C, and the ruffle part for the top will just freehand that without a pattern. For pattern piece 10, we have to iron on some interfacing. Here I am making sure my notches line up to sew the dart. This fabric is very slippery, so I had to be careful.
All right, you guys, so we are finally working on the top. I just wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of hacks that I do with paper patterns. These paper patterns that we cut out, I always glue the part that you cut out, I always glue it to artwork paper. So, you know, the original paper is very thin. It's tracing paper, so it's super thin. And I like to keep it sturdy and last longer, so I always glue it to a piece of like art paper or like construction paper. Joann's used to sell it by the bolt, but definitely probably like Michael's, Hobby Lobby, they have that roll of this roll of paper. I just glue it on. I just use this regular, you know, stick glue, and that gives your paper patterns more longevity because the tracing paper is very thin. So yeah, that's my tip for that. So far I've already sewn the darts on the cut part. This already looks so cute. Let's get back to sewing.
To turn my straps inside out, I am gently using this seam ripper to pull out the fabric. I do have a loop turner, but you guys, those things never work out for me. I don't know how to properly use those, or the one that I have is not sturdy enough, so this is what I'm using. For the ruffle, I just used the bottom half of the top and cut it to the thickness that I wanted, which was about 3 inches wide. I'm going to use these strings for the back of my top later, and the cuff I'm going to cut for the continuation of the ruffle. I put my sewing machine tension on number 4 and pull the thread to get this gathered stitch. I had some leftover white fabric somewhere and I added another layer of ruffle under the floral fabric. You always want to clip curved edges so that you have a perfect seam once you flip over the lining. Here's how we add these strips in between the lining and the back. This first way is how we're going to lay it. It needs to be laying towards the shirt. On the other side, I show you what not to do because I made that mistake. The string is on the outside of the shirt, if that makes sense. You do not want to do it that way. And here's the finished top. It is so gorgeous, you guys. What do you think? The lining I hand sewed on the inside and it just looks so perfect.
I hope you guys enjoyed this thrift flip. I had so much fun transforming these pieces, giving them a new life. Do you guys like the end result? Were they better off before or after? I love the two looks, edgy and then fun and flirty. I love it. I think this video is getting a little bit long to get into the other two thrift flips, so there will be a part 2. So make sure you guys subscribe, and until next time, bye.